All right, we are going to be taking off this fender from a 2017 Dodge Ram 1500. I got a little bit of a dent here and a dent here from some ice mishap in the winter, and so I pulled most of it out, but it's still got some spots that I need to do. So I'm going to pull this fender off. So I'm going to go through how to take off this fender, the driver's side fender from this 2017 Dodge Ram. We are going to use these tools to take off that fender. So we've got a 1/2-inch socket, we've got an 8mm socket, and we have a 10mm socket. And then this is to pull off these pins. Okay, this tool is one of those pin puller tools, so we will use one of those to take off the pins. I already removed this pin, and I just want to show you how I do that again. And then there's a bolt here that needs to be done. I think this is the 1/2 inch. Underneath this, there's a 10mm, and there's a 10mm, and then there's another 10mm up here that I'll show you later. And then we've got some 8mm in the inside of the fender here. So I'm going to get into that, and I've got that so I don't scratch the paint here. So came in, popped it with this tool. Okay, so I popped this off. Then I found out that there is this little piece that actually comes out. So it's just a piece of rubber that must just keep some vibration and stuff under control here on the fender. That's making that noise. There we go. And let's start loosening these. Okay, half. Oh, I think I can do that. Okay, there we go. And we've got this other one here. And we'll switch over to the 10mm. No, this is the 1/2 inch. From the 10mm to the 1/2 inch. The 1/2 inch is getting these. There we go. And so that's, and it's a little, the fender is actually tucked underneath these two pieces here, so we're going to just kind of get it to wiggle out, and then when we put it back in, we'll tuck it in underneath these two little pieces right here, these black pieces, plastic pieces. It helps hold in the battery and that kind of casing there. Now, here by the front windshield, and this piece needs to untuck from here, and it's got this little lip that keeps it in there, so you kind of push down and then pull out and then it's loose. And there's one more bolt right there, and so we will take that bolt out also. And then along with that, there's actually another bolt in the door here. Let's see if we can open this up. Okay, so you can see where my finger is. Where's my finger? There's my finger. So there's another bolt right there. And then inside the door, let's go ahead and take a look, and hopefully you can see that there is, where are you? Okay, that little yoke right there. You can see where my hand is. I'm showing you where my hand is, right there. Because then you can see there in the door there is that piece there, so we'll get that later. Socket on top of this piece right here, and we'll take this one off now. There we go. So we've got that one off now too. There we go. And just the door open and that to that one notch is enough to get access to this guy here. There we go. That came off nicely. We'll start working on this fender. As a reminder, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more bolts, screws in the fender here holding the liner, the wheel well liner in. So what we'll do is we'll take these out. That way it'll give us access, because there's probably another screw in the back here which can't really even be accessed with this access hole. So I want to be able to see what I can find out at this seam right here, because there's it feels like there's a head and a nut, and the nut is actually on this side and the head's on that side. So we'll see how interesting that is. So we'll deal with that once we get this loose. And then, like I said, there's another bolt right here that's screwed in this way, not this way, so we couldn't access it from opening the door. We still have to come in from the inside. So if I can get this fender wheel well liner moved or opened up, then I can actually get in and get access to that. So let's go ahead and loosen, take these out here. So that's got this plastic, this nice piece on the corner that protects the body. From rocks and stuff, so okay. Oh yeah, and then we got what's down here. Okay, there's a little push pin that was in the bottom of this too, so that has popped out along with this. And now there's two, and those look like the 10 mil, so I'll get the 10 mil. All right, so what I found out is, yeah, because of the paint and stuff on it, it was a little bit more than the 10 mil, so I ended up getting my long socket, and I was able to get it on there a little better, so it'll come off, and here we go. So that's got that also. Okay. So now we can start seeing how things look in here. So I'm just pulling this liner back. This was behind, and then it was behind, and this is behind. got one of those metal clips in it so you can put the screw in from the other side. And there. Okay, now, what should be right around here somewhere? Where are you? Okay. We got a piece of foam that goes in there, so we need to remember to put the piece of foam back in that position, tucking it up so it fits in like that. Okay. Let's see. Where are you? You are right here. Okay. Right there. Oops. I'll keep that metal clip on there nice. Let's see, can you hold yourself in that spot? I think so. Maybe not. All right. Now, let's see if it's also a 10 mil. Where are you again? Not there. Right here. Yeah, 10 mil. Okay, let's. We need to be able to access you like this. Like that. All right, I heard it fall. Yeah, there it is. Very good. And that has this loose all the way up there, all the way up here. Okay, so now we've got this one spot right here that I'm going to have to okay, I wonder. I will be back. Okay, so it took me a while, but I got my little baby socket, got it on there. It seems like the head of that nut must have a fair amount of paint on it too, because the 10 mils were having a hard time. So I got my little socket and was able to finally get it on. And so here we go, just a little by little. And we got it coming out. Wasn't enough room for the drill in there. The extension was too long after a bit because it was just hitting against something else. So, just trying to get it on the head of that bolt was a chore. And ta-da! There we go. There is another bolt. There is another. I feel another head. Now instead of coming this way through the bracket, there's another one going this way. So let's see if we can get this to get on there nicely. And there we go. Let's see if it's loose enough. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, there is number 2. Oh, and that's a longer one. Okay, there we go. That's got it loose. So now we will work on pulling it off. Everything is off. It should come off simply now. Now I also just kind of move the camera here for a moment. I also taped up, just put some tape here on this seam, so when I push this back, see how that moved? It's a little bit of a guideline to where it should go again when I reinstall the Fender. Okay, so now, how's that? Okay, let's go ahead and let's open this up. Pull this out, and then looks like there's one of these holes has a dimple in it, so it looks like it needs to come up and over the hole that it's in, and then there we go. Ta-da! Off. In one beautiful piece. So now, let's see if I point here. Can you see? Okay, so there's a couple little pins here that this is where that screw was from the back side, and then the second bolt, or the bolt was from the back side, the first one. The second one I took off was going in here, and then there's these two little dimples that fit into holes in the Fender to align it perfectly too. So that's really handy. And there's that other piece. It was tough to see from out here, but we came in from this side, and then we had that one up there, and then the ones up here. And so here's the Fender, the liner. So that's nice and loose. We'll be able to get everything back in. That's how to take off that Fender from a 2017 Dodge Ram. I will get it banged out and fixed up, and we'll put it back, and I'll come back to show you how to put it back on. It should go much easier going on than coming off, because of a lot of the things that we learned taking it off. See you later. All right, welcome back to our 2017 Dodge Ram. I've got the Fender all done, and so we are going to install it. So let's go ahead, and we're going to talk about how to install the driver's side front fender on a 2017 Dodge Ram. All right, here is my Fender, and so let's go ahead and get it put back in to place. Gently. I want to make sure I get these pins fit in the holes here. And then this slid underneath. There we go, slid underneath, slid underneath. go, there we go, there we go. There we go. It's got to go back some. Okay, and then this has got to So, the piece here goes in front of the bracket where the bolts go in. So, it goes in front of the bracket, and then this piece that has the dimples fits in where the dimple holes, right there. There we go. See how that fit in nicely? All right. So, we've got that in. This is that little piece that fit in the front here. So that goes there. We got our 2 1/2-inch bolts that go in there. 1. And then our 10 millimeters. There, and the one up here. Okay, so now we can see where the markings in the paint. So don't do them super tight. I did this front one tight, which I'll probably loosen. This one was aligned properly. And I think I'll loosen this one a little bit more again. That way we can move and adjust it as it needs to be to make it fit, because I'll close the hood so we can make sure that the seam is the same as the other side. That's one of the reasons why I remember I put the tape at the seam so I can actually line it up quite closely to begin with even. That, nice. there. And I've got the two on the bottom that I remember I used the long socket for. We've got this one here from the inside. Find the hole. All right. Okay, so with the door closed, I think I can tighten that because that lines up nicely. Lines up nicely. Okay. Pull that out a bit. There we go. And then I'll tighten these down here because they look good there. That matches the door closed, nice and flush. And then this one. Okay, I'm going to close the hood and make sure that that line looks fine. All right, it looks just nice and even. And then, remember, this piece of foam. So let's stick this foam in here in a moment. Stick that there. Let me tighten this down just so it doesn't like that. Change to a shorter extension. And tighten this up. And then this, you go back, tuck it underneath. There's that other lip. Lip there, lip there. Lip there. All right. Nice. And then I'll do the finish off the 1/2 inch here. Okay, so those are all tight. Can take the tape off that I used for my alignment. push pin that goes in this cover, and then this pushes into that hole that had the triangle, that rubber insert. There's the hole there, and that pushes in there. There we go. That's good. Now this foam insert, arrow shows up. Arrow goes up. There we go. So there's a little bit of a notch in that foam, and it kind of fits in that seam nicely. Goes up. Maybe I don't need to push it in so far. There we go. We need to put this front piece in. Okay. So, we've got the little screw. Remember, this little screw here, this bolt, it's the short one. So, and there's the long one. The short and the long. So, the long one goes from back to front, and the short one goes from front to back. So, we need to get that one put in. Okay, so we've got that one in place. And then the long one goes in that way. And these is what I used my small ratchet, and that is also the 10 millimeter, yeah. And then this one. And just snug them. Doesn't have to be super tight, just nice and snug. There we go. And that's got this nice and even. Now, we can tuck this up and in. Okay. I think I'm going to loosen that up and push it back in a little bit more, because this liner screws in the back, and then work my way forward. And see, I may just have to redo that. So there's that one in. And then I've got 3 more. 1, 2. There's number 3. Number three's down there. Number 3's at the back. 2 at the back. Okay, and these 2 at the back actually have the rubber piece on it. So, let me leave that, grab that. Remember this rubber piece? That piece goes back here, so. And that pin, push pin, will drop out of there. There we go. And number 2, you can still see. Okay. So we're working down here on this piece. So I'm going to line this up. Okay. So that's on with those 2. Now, I'm going to loosen these because I have a feeling that this is sticking out a little bit more than I want at the front. So, a little bit loose there. And then this one. There we go. Now that lines up nicer with the headlight too. Okay. Now, some of these heads have some paint on them, so they're a little bit difficult sometimes to get the socket right on. There we go. Okay, now let's push this up. And this one. Okay. There. This look good. Snug that up nicely. And then we'll pop the push pin in down here. It will fit. And you will push in. There we go. Nice and snug there. Nice and snug there. There we go. Tight, tight, tight. Fits nicely around the headlight nicely. Beautiful. We got it in here tight, 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 tight. We got the one in the door tight, the one in the middle is all tight, the bottom two are tight, everything is nice and flush here. Fitting real nice. Seam looks good with the door. And again, the seam with the hood. Everything's done in here. Everything's seam looks beautiful there. All right. Then that is how you install or reinstall a 2017 driver's side front fender on the 2017 Ram. So, if you like this and you want to find and enjoy other things that help you find life, enjoy life, and win in life, go ahead and subscribe to the subscribe button below and enjoy all the content that we have for you to be a blessing and to win in life. Thank you very much.